영어 동화 세상 리틀팍스.
The Adventures of Pinocchio, Chapter 1, Only a Piece of Wood.
In the small village of Arbora, Italy, there lived an old carpenter. His name was Geppetto. He lived alone in his small house. He had no wife and no children. When it was very late at night, he was often lonely. Every morning Geppetto went into the forest to collect wood for carving.
This branch is heavy like a table leg, but it is too short. I don't like it,
He said.
This log is wide like a bowl, but it is not deep enough. I don't like it. This is a good piece of wood, but it is too small. I can't make anything out of this.
Geppetto threw the wood on the ground,
Ouch!
said a voice.
What? Who said that? Is someone there?
Geppetto asked the forest. He was very confused. He turned around and looked deep into the forest, but saw no one.
I must be imagining things,
He said, and he kept walking.
Hey, don't leave me here. I'm not too small. I am good wood. You can make something out of me.
The voice said again. Geppetto looked back and was very surprised. It was a talking piece of wood.
I must be crazy.
Geppetto cried.
That's right. You are crazy. You left a fine piece of wood in the forest.
No, I must be crazy because I am talking to a piece of wood.
Hey, I am made of very smart pine.
The wood said, offended.
Yes, but you are only a piece of wood.
Only a piece of wood? Take me home, sir, and I will show you I am not only a piece of wood.
Geppetto was worried that he was crazy, but he was also lonely.
This talking piece of wood might know interesting stories or funny jokes,
He said to himself. He decided to take the wood home.
What should I do with you? I could carve you into a rolling pin for dough, or I could carve you into a small birdhouse.
Geppetto said.
What? I don't want to be carved. That sounds painful.
Said the piece of wood.
Well, if I don't carve you into something, you will only be a piece of wood.
Fine, you can carve me into something. But please, make it something interesting.
Said the wood hopefully.
I don't want to be a rolling pin, and I don't like birds. I want to see the world and go on adventures.
How about a pipe? A rich traveler could take you with him.
Offered Geppetto.
No, I don't like smoke.
I could carve you into chess pieces. Every day would be a game.
Said Geppetto, proud of this idea.
No, you don't understand. I want to run. I want to walk. I want to talk. How about a boy? Can you make me into a boy?
A boy?
Geppetto touched his nose, thinking.
Yes, please. I promise to be a good boy, too.
The wood said.
If you carve me into a boy, that means I will be your son. We can live together and have fun.
It added. The piece of wood didn't really want to live with Geppetto. It wanted to travel the world and go on adventures. But the wood said this, hoping Geppetto would agree.
A boy? Yes, I think that is a good idea. Let's get started right away,
Said Geppetto as he smiled a very big smile. He was happy to have a son. He was happy he was not alone.
The Adventures of Pinocchio, Chapter 2, A Big Name for a Small Boy.
Geppetto carried his talking wood home carefully. Geppetto's home was simple and clean. He had one large room with a bed, a table, his tools, and a stove. Although Geppetto worked hard, he did not have very much money, but he didn't mind.
Now, where should I start?
He wondered aloud.
I've never made a boy before.
Start with the legs. That way I can run fast,
said the wood.
No, I think you had better have eyes first, so you don't run into walls. I don't want you to get hurt,
Geppetto said. He was happy to be making his very own boy. He started first by carving out the face, and then he carved the eyes. As the wood looked more like a boy's face, he became excited about what he and his boy could do together. What fun they would have!
There, your eyes look very smart. How well can you see?
Geppetto asked.
Oh, it's terrible,
Cried the wood.
What's wrong?
Asked Geppetto, worried. He thought maybe the wood was blind.
We are very poor. Look at this small room. I want to be rich, not poor,
The wood said. Geppetto was sad that his boy was ashamed of his home. He promised himself that his boy would have whatever he needed.
I will carve out your ears next, so that you can hear and learn,
Geppetto said. Geppetto worked carefully on the wood all through the day. He carved hair, a nose, and a smile before lunch. Then he shared his first meal of bread and cheese with his boy.
You and I will have great fun together, boy,
said Geppetto as he ate his meal. He tore off some bread and put it into the boy's mouth.
Only I shouldn't call you boy. You need a name. What should we name you?
I know. My name can be Prince Edmund of the Great Woods,
said the wood. He liked the name because it sounded big and important.
That is too big a name for such a small boy. Since you are made of pine wood, I will call you Pinocchio. What do you think?
Asked Geppetto. He wanted to pick a name the boy would like.
Yes, Pinocchio. That sounds important, though it doesn't sound as grand as Prince Edmund of the Great Woods. I think it will be fine,
He agreed.
Wonderful! Pinocchio it is. To celebrate, I will carve your arms and legs so we can dance.
And Geppetto carved quickly. As soon as Geppetto finished carving Pinocchio's feet, Pinocchio jumped to the floor and ran out of the front door.
Wait!
Geppetto called out.
Pinocchio, where are you going?
I am off to find adventures,
Pinocchio called.
But you don't have any clothes on yet. You can't run away if you are naked. Please don't leave,
Geppetto cried as he ran after Pinocchio. Unfortunately, Geppetto forgot to leave his knife on the table. He was running after Pinocchio with his knife still in his hand. The neighbors thought he wanted to hurt Pinocchio, so they called for the police.
Police! Police! Catch him!
One of the policemen was nearby, and he ran into the street just in time to catch Geppetto. He would not let Geppetto explain about Pinocchio. The policeman was scared of Geppetto's knife, so he threw him in jail for the night.
The Adventures of Pinocchio, Chapter 3, Choices.
Poor Geppetto was locked in prison. But Pinocchio was laughing and running through the forest. Pinocchio wasn't wearing clothes and he didn't care.
I'm free! I'm free!
He shouted as he ran.
I can run and leap and play!
The sun began to set and Pinocchio was getting tired. So he returned to Geppetto's house.
I'm hungry,
He said, and he searched the house for food. But Pinocchio didn't know how to cook, so he couldn't eat.
I'm cold.
He said, and he searched the house for clothes. But Pinocchio had run away before Geppetto could make him any clothes. So he wrapped himself in a blanket.
I'm tired.
He said, but Geppetto's bed was too tall. Pinocchio cried.
I am cold and hungry and tired, and there is no one here to take care of me.
Big tears ran down his wooden face.
Well, if you hadn't been a bad boy, Geppetto would be here,
Said a tiny voice.
Who's there?
Asked Pinocchio, a little scared. Night was falling and the room was getting dark. Pinocchio couldn't see anyone.
I am.
Said the voice again, with a chirping sound. A small candle on the table suddenly lit up. Pinocchio saw a cricket crawling down the candle.
Oh, you're a bug.
Said Pinocchio.
Who are you?
My name is Mick the Cricket. You may call me Mr. Cricket. I have lived in this room for 100 years, but I have never seen such a bad boy as you,
He scolded.
I don't like you either.
Said Pinocchio. He was mad at the cricket for calling him a bad boy.
Shame on you for being rude.
Chirped the cricket.
I am trying to help you, and Geppetto has been very kind. Is this how you thank your friends? If so, you will have very bad friends. Children should honor their parents, and you have not.
Pinocchio banged his hand on the table. He was trying to squash Mr. Cricket.
I'll show you. I can have all the friends I want.
Pinocchio screamed.
I can do whatever I want. I don't have to honor anyone. I am going to go on adventures. One day I will be rich and famous.
Mr. Cricket jumped to the floor to run away. But Pinocchio chased him and tried to step on him.
You are making very bad choices.
Said the cricket.
One day those bad choices will hurt you. You can't run away from the choices you've made. You must learn to do honest work and study to be a good boy.
He chirped and he ran toward the door.
I won't work. I won't study. I won't listen to what you say. I will do only what I want.
Pinocchio screamed. Mr. Cricket ran under the door. Pinocchio kicked the door. He walked over to the table, sat down, and started to cry.
I won't listen to you or anyone else.
He cried. He fell asleep with teardrops dripping off his nose.